Hello, everyone. Happy Halloween. Welcome back to Anna with Plants. My name is Anastasia, and thank you so much for joining me for Halloween week. So I really debated on what I should post for the week of Halloween. Last year, I did kind of like a chatty repot video, but I saw that a lot of you liked my last video where I talked about newer, more expensive Hoya, and I thought that I could do it again and just make it a little bit more Halloween themed. And honestly, what's scarier than the prices of these plants, especially in this economy? So we're going to be going over some new Hoya to the market. I'm going to be focusing more on Hoya that are new in 2025, but I can't really guarantee that all of these came out in 2025. Unlike the last video, I also don't really have any pre-formed opinions on a lot of these Hoya. To spice things up a little bit, I also have this Halloween bucket that is full of all the Hoya that we're going to be talking about today. There are 15 new Hoya that are very expensive that we're going to be going over, and I'm going to just be pulling from this bucket and talking about them. Can I technically just go down a list? Yes, but what's the fun in that? So without further ado, let's sit back and let's get spooked at these crazy prices together. I feel like I should have mounted my mic. I was just way too lazy to bring down the whole arm extension, and now I'm juggling a bucket, a mic, and I also have pictures of all these Hoya on my phone, so we'll see how it goes. Let's shake her up. And let's pick out the first Hoya we're going to talk about today. Okay, we got the Carnosa Stardust Silver. So we're going to be starting off strong and expansive. I believe this is a silver mutation of the Carnosa Stardust, which already existed. I think this is a new one in 2025 for sure. I do really like it because it has a little bit of green here or there. You can really tell that Carnosa is like the base Hoya in this. Honestly, I had such a hard time finding people who were selling this Hoya or either sold it in the past. I couldn't really find anyone except this one person on Etsy, so I will go ahead and post it. This listing is currently active at the time I'm filming this, so this is from Rare Leaf Addict, and a 1-node 2-leaf cutting is going for $1,850. That is a scary price. Oh, and by the way, the other name that this can also go under is TPQ030. I really don't know why. Sorry, I couldn't really find anything on the internet about why it would be called that. There you go. There's the first Hoya starting off strong at almost $2,000. Next Hoya we're going to talk about is the meena. My thumb is about to pop off, so full transparency, I just put on these nails for the sake of the video because, excuse me, do you see how long they are? I have to pack plants tomorrow, and there ain't no way that I'm going to be doing it with long nails. My thumb is about to fall off. In case you don't see a nail on my thumb by the end of the video, then you know why. Let's talk about the Hoya meena. It is a hybrid, new hybrid this year. It is a hybrid of the Crassy petiolata splash and the Mikel splash. You guessed it, it's going to be a silvery one. There is one other Hoya on this list that looks a lot like it, and when we get to it, I will mention it. But for the sake of this one, we're just going to talk about the foliage off the bat. It's very round. I think it takes after the Hoya Mikel in that aspect, kind of speckled, maybe gets a little bit sun-stressed pink. I can kind of see that going for it. This one is also not the priciest on the list. I was able to find cuttings of this going for maybe like $80, $90. Definitely not the worst. I just feel like this reminds me a lot of the Publicalyx Pink Silver Ghost, except just more round leaves, but the size of the leaves look about as long as the Pink Silver Ghost. It looks pretty stable, so that is the Hoya meena for you. Next one. Oh boy, Simba just brought in his bone and he's sitting right under the tripod. This is pretty good at noise canceling, so you guys should not hear him crunching on the bone. I guess, well, he just knocked the tripod. I might have to move him in case he keeps knocking the tripod over. If you hear some munching, just know that you have a Simba underneath you. I moved it out of his clutches. All right, next we're going to be talking about the Hoya crocodile. There are a lot of Hoya that are in the same family. For the sake of the video, we're only going to be talking about the crocodile though. The sun is setting and I don't have my light, but I will just be posting up pictures here. Hopefully you guys don't mind find that. Off the bat, this photo at least is giving me Madeira snow angel vibes, but just a little bit more green. However, I was able to find another picture of it that looks a little bit different in the sense that these green splotches are a little bit more raised. And I have another picture where the green splotches do resemble that of crocodile skin. So I can see where it gets its name from. If you like textural Hoyas and you're into very expensive ones, then maybe this is up your alley. Like I mentioned in the last video, I'm not the biggest fan of these kind of like green on white background splotchy Hoyas because it makes the plant look a little diseased to me, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Don't let me yuck your yum. If you love this Hoya, then I love that for you. The crocodile is retailing on Etsy for about $400 for a 1-node 2-leaf cutting, which will set you back. And this is one where I don't really see it coming down in price anytime soon. Any of the Hoyas in this family, the Hoya Candy, the Hoya Fantasy, you know, like all of those, I doubt that they're really going to be affordable anytime soon. So yes, that is the crocodile. Go with this one. This is the elliptica variegated. When I first heard that there was a variegated version of the elliptica, my first reaction was like, okay, yes, they are trying to make everything variegated. This is a trend in the Hoya market. I looked at a couple photos and it looks a little bit different than your bog standard variegated Hoya in the sense that with elliptica as like the base Hoya, it has that nice turtle shell texture to it. I hope you get what I mean. And because of that, the variegation looks a little bit watercolored. It looks a bit muted, at least in these photos. And obviously the new growth is coming in pink, which is always nice to see. So yeah, I am a sucker for more watercolor variegation. I think that's a little bit more unique than just standard variegation. And then you can see it in the last one in more natural lighting. And yeah, it has like that nice pink midrib. I am a fan of it personally. I don't know if I would ever get one, but it's nice to look at. I will say that. The elliptica variegated right now for a 1-node 2-leaf cutting is going for anywhere between $300 to $400. Next Hoya we're talking about is the Polyneura Ice Queen. There are 2 Polyneuras on this list today, so I'm glad we're talking about this one first. So the Ice Queen, I feel like this is a mutation off of the Polyneura jasminca because not only is it splashy, it's also albo variegated. So probably somebody's jasminca mutated and now we have the Ice Queen. I can tell the difference between them, which is nice. It just seems like this one has a lot more splash across it, which in turn does make it look, yes, a little bit more icy. The splash is gray, and I noticed on my own jasminca, when the leaf hardens down, the splash does turn gray, which is quite nice. So yes, just a very highly splashed jasminca, and it seems like the green just goes down the middle. So I feel like this one is going to be a popular one for those people that do like Polyneura. It's kind of blowing my mind on how many varieties now there are of Polyneura because I just remember not even 2 years ago, I want to say less than 2 years ago, that there was only the green version of the Polyneura, and now we have so many out on the market. Kind of blows my mind. But anyway, I did some research on this and I found the Ice Queen on Facebook going for anywhere between $150 to $200. I couldn't find it being sold on Etsy, so I feel like right now it's just starting in the groups on Facebook and then it'll probably go down to Etsy at some point. Next Hoya we're talking about is the this is probably my favorite of the bunch is the buntokensis purnama. I'm so sorry. This is how you say it. This Hoya hails from Kalimantan, Borneo. I think that this is the most unique Hoya out of the bunch in the sense that it gives off a metallic appearance. I don't know if actually the sheen is metallic or because the shine of the Hoya makes it metallic. This is a distinction that you might have to see in person. I think this one's really stunning, especially when the leaves get really long and more lance-like. This one is so hard to come by. I tried to find it all over the normal places that you would buy hoya, and it's really, really rare, truly, right now. And even like the pictures, you just see people overseas that have it. I can't really name a hoya off of the top of my head that gives this metallic sheen, and I dig it. I don't really dig the price so much. I found way back in June on Hoya Hub on Facebook a one node two leaf cutting, and the two leaves were like pretty small, not even as big as the leaves that I showed you. It went for $500. So expensive and very, very uncommon. I don't really see this one hitting the mass market anytime soon. Let's go on to the next hoya. We got the caudata argene is my guess at how you say this. Right now, a rooted cutting of the argene is going for about $150 on Facebook, I saw, and I dig this hoya as well. I like a nice mottled silver one. I also love the caudata, so I'm a bit impartial to this. I don't think I would really buy one of these because who needs 3 different caudatas? I like it. I can see why it's popular. It has come down in price significantly over this last year. I think it came out this year. I want to say maybe earlier this year. I like this last picture that I have because this one is more of like a splashy caudata argene, which looks, in my opinion, more pretty than just the full silver ones. I wonder if this is a fast grower or not, just because of all that silver. Let me know if you have this one, how it grows for you. That is the caudata argene. Okay, we have the deykeae morning dew. I feel like we've been doing so many silver hoyas in a row. Same concept as the caudata mottled silver, except this one has more of the deykeae shape, which is like almost like a carry shape. It's heart leaf a little bit. I wonder if this one is difficult notoriously as the deykeae. I never personally owned a deykeae just because I heard of how horrible they are to grow, and I never really liked the look of them enough to want to go through all that pain. This one with the more green is nice looking for sure. I don't know if I really like the carry shaped leaves also too much, but I can see the draw in it. And from my research, a rooted cutting of this is going right now for about $200, so still on the expensive side. Maybe in a year or so they might drop them in price, but yeah, deykeae morning dew, and I believe the name came from the leaves appear like morning dew. I don't know. Hey, Lukes. Okay, next hoya we're going to discuss is autumn guava. So this is a 2-for-1. In order to talk about the autumn guava, we have to talk about the jita silver, which I believe also came out in 2025. Correct me if I am wrong. I just never heard of it in 2024. Why are we doing all of these hoyas in a row? They all look so similar. Again, mottled silver. This one a little bit heavier on the modeling, though it looks different in the fact that it's a plant that's silver with green modeling. I can kind of get that look more from it. This one came from Thailand. I gotta switch hands because this mic is surprisingly heavy. Okay, so this one came from Thailand. It's actually a hybrid. It's a hybrid of the Eliogorum and mindorensis. I'm so sorry, I don't know how to say the first name of that hoya. And right now a cutting of this is going for $40. In my opinion, that's a bit more affordable. I know some people might disagree, but in terms of the whole scope of this video, this is definitely more on the affordable end of the spectrum. And so this one recently had a new version of it come out, which is called the autumn guava, and you guessed it, it is the variegated version of a jita silver. So the autumn guava is a sport mutation, and it looks interesting because you have that silver modeling on top of the variegation, it appears. Sometimes the leaves though come out a little bit funky. I'll show you the one that I saw on Jax's Jungle, and I actually also have how much she's selling it on Palm Street for, and it's about $2,000 for a 1-node 2-leaf cutting. So very expensive. And I believe it's called the autumn guava because when the leaves emerge, they're more of like a orangey red autumnal vibe. So if that's your thing and you're loaded, then there you go. We are coming down to probably the last 5. Aha. So now we have the alena. It's either alena or alena. Fun fact is I love the name Elena for a girl's name because my mom's name is Elena. I don't know. I just think that Elena is a very pretty name. So if your name's Elena, I think your name is really, really beautiful. The Elena is a hybrid as well. That is like another trend in 2025 is a lot of Hoya hybrids are being pumped out right now, especially of the crassipetiolata, which this one is. It's a crassipetiolata splash crossed with a Rindu Raffalisa. I'm sorry. And the credit to this one goes to Veronia Nursery in Indonesia. So this is the one that looks a lot like the meena to me, but instead of the round shape of the meena, this is more skinny, more lance-like, and less modeled. Some of the pictures out there do have some more green on it, but this one looks like more of a full silver plant. Cool that this was able to be hybridized and this isn't like an induced mutation or whatever. I just think that there's a lot of Hoya on the market that look like this. But very cool nonetheless that it was created. That's the Hoya alena for you. Next Hoya we're going to be talking about is Polyneura diem Fairy Queen. This is the most elusive Hoya out of all the ones I put. I want to know where I came across this because I can't seem to find too much about it. I do have a photo of it, I believe. So the Diem Fairy Queen was named after a collector named Diem in Quebec, Canada. I don't know if this is just not really so available in the US market at the moment, but the only photo that I was able to find is on Instagram, and it kind of looks like the Ice Queen, just a lot heavier on the splash to the point where it only has like one line down the middle. So just like a more splashy Ice Queen is what I get from it. And honestly, I could not find anybody actually selling this on the internet. So maybe it's just being traded amongst collectors right now. And next year it'll appear in Facebook and then kind of go down to Palm Street and Etsy. I'm not really sure, but that is the Fairy Queen. We're down to 4 right now. Okay, we have, so this is one that I put on the list and then I actually happened to see it and buy it. So this is the species pelak spilled rice. This is from Aceh. No surprise there. I like a lot of Acehs. So usually a cutting for this is going for like around $200. I think when I first saw it, I saw it on New Plants on Palm Street and she was selling it for the mid 200s rooted. I was drawn towards the splash. It's more of like a rounded splash, hence why it's called spilled rice. And how I came across to owning this, I have a OneNote 2-leaf cutting of it. I just happened to open up my Palm Street app during my lunch break. There was 2 minutes left of an auction and it was currently at $85. So I bid $95 and I was able to get it for that price. I just really loved it. I also really love how the edges of the leaves are very ruffled and the shape is a little bit more elongated. I think it's really pretty. So that is the spilled rice coming from Aceh. Also, one thing that I forgot to mention is I literally can't find it being sold anywhere anymore. I saw it again like the one time on Palm Street. This one is a very elusive one for sure. Okay, next Hoya we're gonna talk about is the Rhiannon, which is perfect for the video because Rhiannon by Fleetwood Mac, come on. Rhiannon is another hybrid. This one might have actually come out before 2025. It's a hybrid of the Carrii and the Erythrina, and it's so round. I think it's the roundest Hoya that I can think of. Honestly, when I look at this photo, it totally reminds me of a Hue King of Spades anthurium. So if a King of Spades were to be a Hoya, I'm pretty sure it would be a Rhiannon. I love the almost circle leaves on it. It's got a little bit of texture to it, and I'm gonna also throw up this picture of a long stem of it. I think it looks cute and very different. Right now, the prices are going like $80 to $100 for like a rooted cutting. Maybe you get like a couple nodes with it, and it's called the Rhiannon because it was named after Rhiannon Spa, which is a, I believe, well-known person in the Hoya sphere. That is the Hoya Rhiannon. Now we're down to our last 2. and the light is quickly disappearing. Burmanica variegated. So this one is a pricey one for sure. It's about $800 for a cutting right now, and $1,000 if you want it rooted or a couple nodes on it. It's very, very expensive. Looks like an inner variegated bella, but maybe a little bit more wavy. I bet the texture is also different. I bet it's more thin. It definitely looks like that. Hopefully it grows better than an inner variegated bella, at least for me. It's nice. Sure, I can see the appeal of it. Price is insane on this one. I wonder if it's hard to grow. Maybe that's the thing with it. It's a pretty Hoya for me personally. I wouldn't really get it, but if that's your thing, then you do you. And the very last Hoya that we're going to talk about is the Lacunosa Winter's Pandora. This is the newest lacunosa to the market. I feel like I just started seeing it maybe within this last month or two. This is a full plant of it. I can tell it apart from other silver lacunosa, so it gets a point there. It almost looks like it's a variegated silver lacunosa, and that is another trend I've noticed is basically, do you want a Hoya that's silver or variegated is the question, and the answer is yes. We're doing it all, folks. We're doing the variegation on top of the silver, on top of the modeling. Then this is all what this Hoya has, is all three of those. It does look wintry. I can see where it gets that name from. It looks nice. It looks like a longer mint coin with a stripe of variegation down the middle is what it reminds me of. Right now, the prices are dropping, but for maybe like a multi-node cutting of this is about $80. So I'm sure within a couple months, it's going to be even cheaper than that because lacunosas tend to grow pretty quickly. So if you really like the look of this one, then you're probably going to be in luck for next year for sure. And that completes out the 15 Hoya that are new to the market. So that does it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed and that you maybe saw a Hoya that you hadn't seen before. A lot of these were a little bit more popular than the last video. Let me know which one was your favorite. I hope you guys have a wonderful, fun, and safe Halloween, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.